What's up everybody, how are you doing? Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 bits of news that happened in the world of crypto in the month of February. So stay tuned as this absolutely concerns you. Let's get it. Hello guys and welcome back to the Crypto Postman channel, where we are steady serving you all the news and the juice as it has to do with crypto and the entire blockchain industry. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please just go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you will know every time we send out a post. All right, first on the agenda today is Binance Coin. So Binance Coin earlier last month announced their tech roadmap for 2023. The statement was released on Valentine's Day, February 14th, and later in the month we started hearing stuff about it from other blockchain related news houses. The first item on the BNB tech roadmap is the BNB Greenfield. What is the BNB Greenfield? Basically, BNB Greenfield is a decentralized infrastructure that allows users and dApps to safely create, store, and exchange data. Now, amongst all the other fancy features contained in this roadmap, it's important to note that they also plan to launch their parallel EVM 3.0, version 3.0 in the year 2023. If you remember, BNB already launched its parallel EVM, the V1 and V2, in the year 2022. It looks like it's going to be a very busy year for not just BNB, but Binance as a whole, because we're still the first quarter of the year. This is the beginning of March, and somehow they've already organized over 100 events worldwide. I mean, 105 events in the first 2 months. That is mind-blowing. Moving on, the former CEO of the now defunct and bankrupt exchange crypto firm, whatever you want to call it, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, is facing 4 new charges in addition to all the counts and all the charges already leveled against him. Currently, there are 12 criminal charges against SBF. These would include about 8 charges on conspiracy to commit fraud, and the other 4 would be on wire fraud and securities fraud. Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a whole lot to deal with. Now, in an attempt to modify his bail terms, SBF's attorneys are offering to help the judge with an expert who will essentially help the judge understand some of the details of the case so that he can make, a better ruling, hopefully in their favor. Now, according to this letter from SBF's attorneys to the judge dated February 21, you can see that they are agreeing to fund this particular, expedition into finding an expert. It reads, the defense has already begun researching and contacting possible experts and anticipates being able to propose 1 or more potential candidates to the court by the end of the week. Looks like the former king of crypto is in for a tough ride. If you want to learn more about this case, please be sure to check out our next post. It is exclusively on SBF and his many woes right now. Moving on, have you ever heard about the term WAGMI? WAGMI. It essentially stands for we are all gonna make it. Now, this is a term that was very popular on Twitter and in certain NFT communities during the NFT boom. And right now, all of a sudden, it's not looking like we're all gonna make it. As a matter of fact, it's looking like many of us are gonna die. I mean, hopefully you're not in the number. But according to Doodle CEO Julian Holguin, I hope I got that pronunciation right, he thinks, in his opinion, of course, that many projects will not survive this particular winter that we are in. As a matter of fact, that many projects will die. Now, if you remember, there was a lot of buzz and hype around NFT spaces and generally around Cryptopia in the year 2020 and 2021. But after that, we began to see there was a steep fall in prices of everything. And along with the prices that fell, some hopes were dashed when big players like Voyager and Luna and of course FTX crashed. Now, I guess because misery loves company, according to Doodle CEO Julian, he believes that these face-to-face conferences can actually help lift spirits in times like this. When we're talking about face-to-face conferences, he was essentially talking up and applauding the NFT Paris event And he was saying that these kinds of events these kinds of face-to-face events can have a lot of positive impact on the space that's really going through a lot right now. Moving on, for a company that is practically the most law-abiding company in all of Cryptopia, Binance seems to be getting in the crosshairs very often. Right now, Binance seems to be running afoul of SEC regulations as they have been accused of breaching security laws in the United States by trying to buy billions of dollars worth of crypto assets belonging to the now bankrupt Voyager. Now, I'll take you to the news on blockchain.com so that we can see exactly what's there. It says, Binance plan to buy over $1 billion worth of assets that belong to the bankrupt cryptocurrency lending company Voyager Digital has been met with opposition from the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Let's take a look at this particular paragraph down here. It says the SEC contends that the information provided in the planned purchase of Voyager assets does not adequately outline whether Binance.US or affiliated third parties will have access to customer wallet keys or control over anyone who has access to these wallets. The SEC's argument is based on the fact that the information was provided in connection with the planned purchase of Voyager assets. So basically they're saying that they don't have enough information on Binance's foray into, investing in the now bankrupt Voyager assets. Well, the SEC is claiming to always want to protect investors, but sometimes they can certainly appear to be a little overzealous about it. And finally, we switch our attention to Europe and MiCA. And if you're not familiar with MiCA, it essentially stands for Markets in Crypto Assets, and this is the European Union's answer to crypto regulations in Europe. Now, the final vote on MiCA that will essentially validate its coming into existence in the year 2024 was scheduled to hold in November 2022. It was postponed to February 2023, and it seems to have been deferred once again to April 2023. Now, with all these deferments, it raises the question, at the time when MiCA is finally ready, at the time that these lawmakers are done dragging their feet and finally pass it into law and the final vote is cast and it comes into force in 2024, will it still be relevant? The reason there's a question about its relevance at that time is because this is a very dynamic industry. This is an evolving industry. It's a very young market and it's a very technical market. And the kind of things that we've seen in crypto spaces over the last couple of years really need not only comprehensive regulations, but regulations that also evolve to match the new trends that are coming into the space. There are certainly lots of things that have happened in crypto over the course of the last year that would have called for revision. So right now you have a comprehensive framework for regulating crypto assets in Europe. And a lot has happened since you came up with that. Will it still be relevant when it comes into force in 2024? Now, speaking on this particular issue, the president of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, said amidst all the FTX craziness last year, that was November 2022, she said there will certainly be a MiCA 2.0, a MiCA version 2, a MiCA 2, however it is that she puts it. And of course, this updated version of MiCA will be broader and it will aim to provide a more comprehensive framework for the regulation of cryptocurrencies. That will be all on this week's roundup of what is up in Cryptopia over the last month. Now, as always, if you're not yet subscribed here, you know you need news if you're going to make moves in the market. So be sure to like this particular post, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you know the next time that we post. And until I see you in the very next video, which will be very shortly, be blessed.